Hello, my dearest INFJ entrepreneurs. Welcome back to another video, or welcome if you are listening to this one on the podcast. This week, I have a more technical how-to video for you. Actually, because yesterday, we had our monthly virtual hangout for April, and one of the topics that came up quite often was this question of how can I make my clients see my value? And if this is something that you have been contemplating yourself in your business, or if this is something that you have been thinking about, like, I wonder, what can I say? What can I do? How can I make people, clients, prospective clients, to see my value of my work, what I provide, how I help, so that they can become my clients, they can become my buyers. And since I'm a marketing consultant on the side, and that's my main profession as an INFJ entrepreneur, so this question of how can I make my clients, my future clients, see my value is something that is a fair question. And I would categorize whatever we are selling into two categories. The first category would be very easy to understand. There isn't much explanation needed, types of services, types of coaching, consulting, or even actual physical products that we are selling. And the other category is what I'm doing is more consulting, or like a coaching or some kind of more complex thing that's not easy to understand. Let me give you an example. So when I'm saying I help with Facebook ads, that's a very simple thing for anyone to understand. When you want to run ads for your business, you know that when I say I help with Facebook ads, okay, she helps me with Facebook ads, right? That's all I need to know. Or if you are a logo designer, I'm a logo designer. So you understand that, okay, if I need a logo, then I go to this person to help me design a logo. Easy, simple. Third example, I'm a French teacher. Great. Easy. If I want to learn the language of French, here's a French teacher. I don't need to know more about the complexity of learning French. I just want a French teacher. And that point, when I have hey, I want to learn this, I want to have someone do this for me, or my ads, or learn language, it's quite simple for me to make the connection, to find a person around me, or network, or research the type of person I'm looking for. It's quite easy for me to make the match, to be like, okay, I'm looking for this person, I need someone who can help me with this specific thing. And it's universal, guys. So then when we have a solution that we offer that is simple to understand, there isn't much explanation needed, right? So what ends up happening is a person who's looking for the simple solution that's easy to understand, what they are looking for, and comparing is pricing, the person who's doing it, their experience, and are they vibing? That's the type of conversation that happens afterwards, right? It's easy to understand. There isn't much explanation to be done. You don't have to convince people that you want to learn French, because when someone is looking to learn French, it's probably because they understand that they they want to know how to speak French, for example. But when it comes to more artistic solutions, coachings, programs, digitalized programs, or even services that are not easy to understand. It's not in circulation. It's not super simple. It's more complex, or what you offer, maybe a certain type of niche or a certain type of people would only understand. It is when things get a little bit complicated. And I can tell you that on the first realm of things of, okay, this is easy to understand and it's very simple for anyone to want this or not and make a decision. On the other hand, when there are complex, even more artistic ways of working, it's not for everyone. It's not very inclusive. It's not simple. It's not like an everyday people can understand. This is when we have a little bit of problem. Because it becomes more of a challenge to explain our value, to communicate what it is that we are helping in a way that's clear, concise, and also hits the right spot on the marketplace. So when we are talking about what we do, it's instantly people can understand it. And I'm not saying that you have to have a solution that is dumped down, because there are certain niches in the marketplace that can only understand the language that you are using, right? So for example, we have Nina in our community, who is a somatic experiencing practitioner. Now, if you don't know what that is, obviously that doesn't say much to you. But if you are already into somatic experiencing and you're looking for the type of thing, that word will just might be what you need, okay? Right? The first thing I want you to do is I want you to understand which category you are in. Are you in the easy to understand, everyone kind of knows what it is type of service, or selling whatever, if you have a shop, for example? Or are you in the, hey, this is more artistic, it's quite niche, it's harder for people to understand and see the value, okay? So once you make that determination, your course of action in communicating the value is going to be completely different. So when it comes to things that are easy to understand, the way you can communicate your value is by demonstrating what it is that you do, is by showcasing, is by showing actual proof and demonstrating what you can do for people. If you're a graphic designer, you just showcase your graphics. If you are running ads, you just show your results from your ads. If you are having a tangible product, you just show what the tangible product is. So it's a different type of conversation. But when you have something that is not easy to understand, you will have a harder time to demonstrate and to articulate what it is. In that scenario, I want you to think of the following when it comes to how do I communicate the value of what I'm offering? When we ask the question, how do I communicate the value of what I'm offering? And this is a more complex solution. The question what I want to ask yourself is, who already know the value of what I'm offering? Instead of thinking of how can I convince someone who's completely unaware that this exists into becoming a buyer, what your question becomes, who already knows the value of what I'm offering? And can I talk to those people instead? Because in that scenario, when you are working and you're searching for people who already understand the value that you're offering, you don't have to start from zero. And everything that you do and everything, the way you communicate is going to be with that assumption that whoever is watching, listening, reading your content is already aware of the value that you're offering. So if we take my friend example, Nina, who's a somatic experiencing practitioner, for her job is not to explain to people what is somatic healing, somatic experiencing is. Her job is to speak to the people who understand the value and show them different aspects and insights of how you can use it and how it comes to your everyday life so you can really broaden your horizons. She doesn't talk to people who are like, so you know what the thing is when you're experiencing your emotions and I can help you with that. She doesn't try to speak to people who have no idea what it is. She speaks to people who already know and want to learn more, who want to deepen their knowledge, who want to see different angles and use cases. And that's what I suggest you guys to do. So when I already know and I'm speaking to the people who understand the value of what I'm offering, my messaging, my communication becomes completely different. So I have a web designer friend. I want to share this with you guys to really hit this and bring this point home. I have a web designer friend and she has troubles finding clients. She's a mega introverted person and she doesn't like to go out on events. She doesn't like to be on camera. She just, she's really one behind the scenes type of person, so one of the biggest reason why she has been struggling in attracting the right type of clientele is because her content is a written content, but that's okay. But her content revolves around convincing people why they need a website. So all she does is she's trying to tell people why they need websites. She's trying to tell them, hey, website is almost like a business card for your business. Website is representing you. Website is is showcasing your business. What if social media went down? Imagine. So what she's doing, she's trying to speak to people and who doesn't understand what the value of a website is. And she's trying to convince them that they need one. Do you see the problem with that? Do you see how it's harder for me to speak to people and say, you need a website. And here's why you need a website. 5 reasons you need a website. You need a website. Instead of saying, hey, you want a website? Here's how I can help. Here's what I've been doing. Here's my portfolio. If you want a website, I can help you. So in that scenario, it becomes I already know that this is what I want and I'm here to help you. Instead of, here's why you need one. The same goes to like running Facebook ads. My content is not, hey, here's 5 reasons why you need Facebook ads. My content is, here's what I'm doing, here's the result we are creating. If you want Facebook ads, you can contact me, right? So I'm not sure if you guys can feel the difference. I know already that I'm talking to the people what I'm offering versus I'm trying to convince people that they need what I'm offering. So one is a convincing energy and one is I'm certain, I'm grounded in my expertise, and I know exactly that I can contribute to people like you, right? So if it completely drop this weight that comes with how can I communicate about my value, and it becomes like me demonstrating people that I'm valuable because I know that I am. And maybe that we are shifting into mindset territory once more, but it also comes back to this deep knowing that what you offer is valuable. And so when I know that I'm helpful and I have confidence in my abilities, that I know I can help people because I have been doing it, so I have experience that backs me up, that I'm in a different position when it comes to speaking because I can speak with my own conviction. So I can communicate with conviction and grounded and expertise behind what I have been doing because I've been doing it for a while. And that is a different energy than, hey, here's why you need this and this is awesome, right? And me trying to convince you that you need to hire me. It's different than I know my value and I communicate the insights of what I'm doing and how I'm working with people instead of me trying to convince you that you need to hire me and here's why, right? So it's a different energy. One has more confidence and experience and the other has more like shaky confidence. The other has more of a shaky confidence, right? And less groundedness in your expertise. It's okay to have a shaky confidence if you don't have it just yet. In that scenario, I would always encourage you to talk to more people. And if you are just building up something that you haven't done enough or you don't have repetition and confidence behind you to not having to convince people, but you have this deep knowing that you are valuable and you know that you're speaking to people. Who do you have to speak? Who already understand your value, right? You kind of know that already. If you don't have that yet because you are early, then I would just create opportunities for myself so I can practice into my expertise more. I can just coach people, teach people. I can take any opportunities that there is so that I can get more reps in until I become confident at what I offer. So I really hope that this was helpful for you guys. And don't forget, courage over fear, progress over perfection. Bye guys.